Okay, here's warm-up 12.2. If you flip a coin and toss a number cube, how many possible outcomes are there? We could make an outcome chart. For the coin, you could get heads or tails, and then I could think on the number cube, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. You could start thinking, oh, I could get a head, and then a head. It could come up heads and then get a 1. It could be a heads and then a 2. You can make a chart like that, but that would take a while. This is going to be much quicker if we use the fundamental counting principle. So I'm just thinking how many things could happen with my coin toss. Well, 2 things, right? Heads or tails. And then for my cube, my number cube, that's just a dice, right? It's just a way to show that it's a 6-sided dice. So there's 6 different things that can come up there. And all I have to do is multiply the number of possible outcomes in my first category times the number of possible outcomes in my second category. So it wouldn't take us that long to make a chart there. There would be 12 different combinations, okay? But when we have, on this next one, we're flipping a coin and 2 number cubes, the chart starts to get really large quickly if you do it that way. So I'm just going to use the fundamental counting principle again. So I'm thinking, okay, my coin can come up 2 different ways. The first number cube can come up 6 different ways. The second number cube can come up 6 different ways. And then I just multiply those 3 numbers together. So let's see, we've got 12 times 6, and that's going to come out to 72. Okay. All right, when 2 number cubes, well, this is really just a setup for number 4. 6 things that can happen on each number cube, so there's 36 outcomes, possible outcomes when you're rolling 2 dice. Okay. If 2 number cubes are rolled, find the probability that, well, first that the sum is 5. Okay, so for all of these, we're going to be looking at the number of favorable outcomes over the number of total outcomes, because that's how probability works. So since we're rolling 2 number cubes on all of these, it's going to be something over 36, right? Because there's 36 different ways it could shake out when you roll 2 number cubes. Okay, so I'm kind of just setting all of these up. It's always going to be something out of 36. Okay, and now the other part of this, I got to figure out how many favorable outcomes, and this is where you would probably just want to think of your possibilities. So I'm going to make a little chart here. So here's my first number cube and my second number cube. And I'm going to think, how can I have the 2 numbers add up to 5? Well, I could get a 1 and a 4, right? Or I could roll a 2 and a 3. Or I could flip both of these around, okay? Rolling a 1 and a 4 is not actually the same as rolling a 4 and a 1. Often you'll see these problems talk about like a blue number cube and a red number cube. And then you can kind of see, okay, if I got a 1 on my blue cube and a 4 on my red cube, that's not the same as getting a 4 on the blue and a 1 on the red. Same with this, okay? So there's 4 different combinations there. If I roll a 5, you can't roll a 0, so a 5 is not going to work, or a 6, okay? So there's my 4 combos. So here I've got my probability, and I just want to reduce that. I can divide by 4 on top and bottom, so I'm going to get 1/9 there. Or you could also do the percentage version of that, okay? So, okay, I've got these. So my favorable on this next one, the sum is not 5. Well, there's 36 total things that could happen, and I just figured out that 4 of them, the sum is 5. So rather than counting up all the ones where the sum's not 5, I'm just going to take the total and subtract out the ones where the sum is 5. So that means there's going to be 32 out of the 36 here. Okay? And let's see that if I divide by 4 on top and bottom, I'm going to get 8/9 then. Makes sense. 1/9 of the time it's going to come up a sum of 5. The other 8/9 it's not going to have a sum of 5. Okay. All right. If the sum is less than or equal to 5, okay. So I'll just use my blue and red number cubes here to kind of sort through this. So the sum is less than or equal to 5. All right. Well, if you roll double ones, sum is 2, right? If we roll a 1 and a 2, that would work, and I could also flip that around. All right, how about a 1 and a 3? That would still work. I could flip that around. A 1 and a 4 would work. That would be equal to 5. Okay, so I did all the combos that I have a 1 on one of the dies. We could also do this with a 2 and a 3, or a 3 and a 2. If you use a 4, then you could do it with a 1, but I've already listed those right there, right? So I think that's all the combos, and then I'm just going to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 combos there, so 9 out of the 36. So that will reduce to 1/4 or 25%. Okay. The sum is less than 5. Well, I've got these ones have sums that are also equal to 5, but it has all the ones where the sum is less than 5. So let's just, rather than making a whole new chart here, I'm just going to circle the ones where the sum is less than 5. Okay, all those the sum is less than 5. Here my sum is 4. Those ones the sum is 5. Those ones the sum is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those are going to be sums that are less than 5, and that doesn't reduce. Okay, that's the end of the warm-up, and I'll see you next time.